Now, welcome back. If you're an executive right now, you're caught between a rock and a hard place. If you choose to leave your job, for whatever reason, it's going to be suggested that you can't handle the downturn and you jump ship. If you stay and you don't deliver a recovery for the company, you're going to be the CEO who failed. So what do you do? We're talking about managing a personal brand and your credibility. We're joined by Thebe Ikalafeng, a branding and marketing expert, to just talk to us about that. Credibility defined, trustworthy, reliable, you have integrity, you have expertise. These are all qualities you need in this downturn, but the market forces are working against you. How do you hold on to credibility?
Well, I mean, it's part of managing a business, part of managing an entity, is understanding that it's not always going to be good. You have to take the same attributes and apply them during the up as well as during the downturn, because the CEO is the embodiment of the organization. He or she is the catalyst to the future wealth of the organization, to the reputation that people have of an organization. Matter of fact, people have said, President Masala has said, 50% of a reputation of an organization is embodied in the CEO. Okay. So you have to take the same attributes in driving the organization through all terms. A lot's been said at the moment about transparency in accounting practices. A lot's been said about corporate greed. Now, whilst government's trying to find some sort of regulatory framework around this issue, the question is, you can't win either way. You've got to be transparent about your financials, and for everybody that's not looking good, it means you're not necessarily going to attract investment unless you're a value investor in these markets. It means you might not get the company out of the spiral. So you won't deliver, but you're also having to be honest. You have to be honest at all times, because sooner or later, I think the worst crime is a crime of non-disclosure. The worst crime that a CEO or any organization can do is a crime that when people discover much down the road that the problem is actually much worse than it is. So it is better, as a matter of fact, as most experts have said, they said, well, if it's going to go down, then let it go down honorably. Because it means the fundamentals are probably not in place. If it cannot survive the downturn, it probably is not going to survive anyway into the future.
What do you do as a CEO? Your financials are not looking good. The outlook for the company is not looking good. You're being transparent. You're maintaining your integrity, but you're not necessarily attracting the necessary investment to get you out of this mess. And so at the end of the day, you're not reliable and consistent and strategic.
I think part of the problem is the short-term nature of, we look at a CEO and we look at what they did last week and what they're doing next week, and we forget that legacy. They might have been there a year, they might have been there 5 years, they might have been there 10 years. There's a lot more to it, and we so tend to focus, and it's not even just in markets, it's everywhere. We're so busy focusing on the now. And this person might have run a business amazingly well for 9.5 years. Global conditions turned against them. Can we really nail that individual and say, you messed up after 9.5 years of success?
There's a certain level of emotional intelligence you need to have at this stage, connecting with your workers, connecting with your shareholders, with the market. When you cannot take the weight, the logical step is to leave. But if you leave right now, you're seen as a quitter.
Well, what I've always believed that a CEO does for any organization beyond the reputation is the confidence, because 94% of investors, they say they put their trust in an organization based on the confidence they have in the CEO. So if the CEO has lost confidence in himself or him or herself, they should quit. I think they should honorably say that this problem is bigger than me, because the worst thing that can happen, is to lead a falsehood and to lead a life where you know that you actually are not going to be able to get out of this thing. So to me, it's better to be a quitter and to be openly so, rather than to fight knowing that you don't know how to fight.
But I think just another way of putting it is to say these are unrealistic expectations of the company and myself, and either we revise the expectations or I go.
Or I go, exactly.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Thebe Ikalafeng. Thank you, Simon, for being with us all the way through.
Pleasure.
Thank you at home for watching Business AM this Thursday morning. Capital Connection up next, and then the team will bring you the buzz on the African markets as they open at 8:30 Central African time. That's Squawk Box Africa. Bye-bye.